Okay, so now I'm recording.
To troubling new allegations about former Today co-host Matt.
All right, yep, thank you for pushing on mute. Okay, so let's just go over how we find our old school students and our new school students, okay? So obviously all of you guys are gonna be logging in normally to Edgenuity like you've done before. So here I am on my login page. I'm logging in, and it's going to take me to the home page. And then here at the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the school that you are currently in. Mine, OLC shows up. You guys will not show OLC. You'll just have Dial Virtual School and Dial Virtual School IS. And then you have to log in separately to find your OLC students. So when I go here, this is going to pull up all of the schools. So if I'm looking for a specific student, I need to go into their courses and look at their course content and look at an assignment. Then you need to make sure you're in the right school that student is in. So you'll notice here underneath my name, it'll change to the school that you collect. And then you're going to go to manage students, and then students that are still in the old school will show up here. And this is how you can then individually select whichever student you're looking for. If I want to go to the Dial Virtual School IS and find a student, I have to make sure that I'm in the correct school, click on Manage Students, and then all of my new school students will show up here. And then I can click on individually a student here. Now, if I am in the dashboard, and I know this is kind of where you guys look a lot because obviously you need to because you have alerts. And the only way you're going to know if you have something that needs grading or retakes is the alerts showing up here. And so if you are in the dashboard and you want to go to your old school, this does not matter up here anymore of what school you're in. What you need to do is you need to filter by group. You need to go to the school that you're looking for and hit apply. And then before you do that, you want to click your user group. And then you're going to hit apply. So once I'm in Dial Virtual School, you'll see that I have this is the old school, Dial Virtual School, and then all the Dial Virtual School old school students are going to show up here. If I want to go to the new school, I have to go click here, make sure the IS user group is set to me, and then apply. And then all of my new school students are going to be showing up here. And you'll notice underneath the Dial Virtual School IS, all these alerts. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of these. When you guys log in and look up your students and look at the progress and everything, please make sure you're looking at these alerts and get these taken care of so that they're not sitting there for a long period of time. And also, if you on here, another thing that I want to show you on here also, like let's say you want to go by alphabetical order by last name. You can click on these blue links and it'll pull up alphabetical order by last name. If you're trying to find a specific student or whatever, that will show up here. Also, progress. A lot of times this is what I'll do. I'll click on progress, and then whoever has 100%, the highest progress will show up. If I want the lowest progress, where it's going to show me students that haven't even started yet, that'll show up here if you're looking for those students. So you can kind of see, okay, who hasn't logged in for a while, who hasn't started. So then you can kind of organize it that way. So then you kind of look at those students, and then you can email them and say, hey, you haven't been in your course for a while. What can I help you with? Is there something going on? And just check on those students that way. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that you can kind of click on these links and organize however you want. A lot of times I'll do start date to see when the student started. This you can use for, like, if I'm in the OLC, And if I need to look up their start date, and if we're on August and September and we're kind of doing the whole re-enroll process, this is kind of good to you can sort by start date. And so then the latest, like 10/9/18, so the latest that the students were registered will show up first, or you can click it to where the student, whoever was registered the earliest, will show up here. So that's just some other options that you can do with that. Let's see. Any questions on this dashboard? Anybody have anything with this that they want to add or? How about with the old school students and the new school students? Everybody understand that now? As far as how to log on? Okay, so no one's saying anything, so I'm assuming everybody understands that, so that's good. Okay, daily progress, just make sure that you're looking up your students on a regular basis. Every day, every other day is okay. I just don't want you to go too long without looking, especially now when students are working. And we have students starting to complete their courses as well. So make sure that you're answering your emails. We have a 24-hour policy. That is very important. We need to make sure that we're communicating with our student. We've had some phone calls and some emails about teachers not responding to students' emails. So please, please, please be checking your email. That's another thing that I kind of want to go over before I forget. Your email. Up here, and I know I emailed this out before, and some people were a little bit confused and didn't know this, but you should, if you get an email from a student, up here in the right-hand corner by this X, I think it's in between these two, you'll get an orange envelope, an orange box that has a white envelope in it. That's going to be your alert to where you will know that you have a student that emailed you. I know we've had some issues with our emails not working on the IS when we're in the Dial Virtual School IS. If that is happening, please email me and let me know. I did reach out to them and they said they didn't see any issues on their end. But it could still be happening. If it is, please let me know. If I go in, yeah, so I know I've seen orange envelopes on people's accounts. So when you log in, whether it's OLC or Dial Virtual School, just look up here, make sure that you're not seeing an orange envelope. And if you are, click on it, and that will directly take you into your email. You also can get to your email this way, and that is great. Like and I know people have said every time they log in, they always check their email before they log out, which is a great idea. That way, you know for sure you checked it and you have no emails that you need to respond to. So, but everybody should get an alert up here to let them know if they have an email or not. If you're not receiving that, let me know and I can have Edgenuity look into your account for you and get that figured out. Let's see. Okay. All right, we went over alerts. Make sure you guys are looking at those alerts and getting those assignments graded. If you have any problems with any grading any assignments, please let me know. As far as knowing how to do it, if you don't know how to do it, I can show you, and but I don't want to do it now because that'll take up a little bit more time than I want. Completions. Make sure you're checking on completion. Students are starting to complete some courses. You email me the student name, the grade, and the percentage that they got for that course. Make sure you're getting those in a timely manner. That would be great. Don't want a completion to be sitting there for 5-6 days before it's turned in. I want to make sure we're kind of getting those turned in and getting those to the district as soon as we can. Vouchers. If you, which I've said in the past, I'm okay with you sending in vouchers as soon as the student completes, or waiting until the 25th of the month. If you hand it in by the 25th, then I will submit it and you will get paid the following month. And I like that way because then we're not getting all kinds of vouchers. But if you just have 1 or 2 students here and there, not, you're not having a whole bunch complete at one time, I'm okay with you handing in those vouchers when the student completes. But if you have a whole bunch of students completing, try to wait until the end of the month to get those, or the 25th to get those vouchers sent in. User groups. Now, I know that I do a lot of the times when I'm really busy getting students enrolled into their courses, I forget to put students into your guys' user group sometimes, and I apologize for that. I know I do it sometimes because I forget, and I just forget to do it. So I want to show you, if you know a student that you should have in your user group, you guys can go ahead and add them to your user group very, very easily. And I want to show you how to do that. So if I go into, I want to see if I should go into manage students. If I go into manage students, and I am going to click on this box to the left, this add to groups box popped up. If you click on this and then click on your name of, or whichever category, whichever area you want that student to go in, because I know some people have them, English students, Spanish students, 18-19 students, 19-20 students. You go ahead and click the right box you want them to be added into, the right user group. And then you click on this, and then all you do is click on this plus sign. Then you'll notice the user has been added to your group. And then there's this little icon here. That means it was successfully added, and this student now is in your user group. So whenever you go to the dashboard, and even when you go to manage students too, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but you can manage your user group here as well. Like if you want to just pull up your students under manage students, you go here and here, and then bam, that student shows up because this is in my user group. You can also do this under manage, or get to your user group under manage students as well as the dashboard. Okay? So let's say I want to remove this student. So now we're getting to the end of the year, and maybe we're getting to the beginning of fall where, or actually, whenever a student completes and is done taking online courses, you can remove that student from your user group if you want. And how you do that is you can click here again, and then you'll see remove from group. You click on that, and then now they're gone. So it's very simple and easy. So you guys can always do that yourself if you do not feel comfortable doing that. I am okay with doing that for you. So if you, and you guys have been doing a great job emailing me, say, hey, I can't find the student. The first thing I do is I check your user group. And most likely that's what the problem is if you can't find the students, because I didn't add them to your user group. So that could just be something, if you feel comfortable with doing, you can do it yourself. I'm okay with that. But if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, you can go ahead and keep emailing me, and I can put them in there for you. But it's just super, super simple. So I just wanted to show you guys, again, how to do that. Re-enrolls. We talked about this, I think, in August when we had our meeting. You guys are doing a good job with that. I am trying my best, which I believe we are pretty much done. Registrations have slowed down with OLC and with the DIAL students. OLC is really only where we have our re-enrolls most likely, most of the time. And so we are pretty much done with our big rush, and there might be some that come through here and there, but for the most part, things have slowed down. But with re-enrolls, normally every time I email you, I will tell you if it's a re-enroll. I will tell you if it's with progress or with or just a re-enroll. If I don't put with progress, then it's just, you know, a re-enroll from last year. And normal re-enrolls mean if a student was in a course in 18-19, and then they withdrew that student from 18-19, and then they re-enrolled them in 19-20 for the same course. That's what a re-enroll is. And sometimes they re-enroll with, we transfer progress over. If a student is 50% or more completed with their course, then normally that's when I transfer that progress over. But you guys have been doing a good job with those students. And if you have any questions about if a student's a re-enroll or anything like that, you can email me and I'll definitely let you know. Impersonate, I've showed this to you before, but I'm gonna do it again. If you want to go in the student's account and look and see what they're seeing, if they're having issues with something, you can always do that. And the way you do that is you go to your student, you go to this icon on the very far right, click on it, and you're gonna go impersonate. Once you go there, you're gonna click continue, and then that's gonna take you into the student's account. And then you just click on the course, and it'll take you in there. And then once you're done, make sure you end impersonation session. Make sure you do that. So you're not continuing to be logged in as him. Okay. New student user face, as you guys saw when I just went into that student's account, we are officially transitioned over to the new student user face. So any student that logs in from now on, they will see that new format when they first log on. That will be new, and then once they click on a course, it's still gonna look a little bit different, but once they get into the course, everything there is gonna be the same. So once they're working in the course, none of that is different. It's just kind of the initial look of it. So we are officially, everybody's transitioned over to that. Let's see, dashboard, we went over that. Chat with tech support. I know I've showed you this before as well, but we're gonna do it again. Right here, if you guys, here's kind of what I say as far as whether or not to check with Edgenuity or check with me as far as issues with students. If a student is having a technical issue, whether it's, if videos are not loading properly, email me because I can fix that. I have a couple options of what we can do to fix the videos not loading. But if it's like, an assignment's missing or a question is missing on a test, or really there hasn't been many issues as far as just videos loading. Have you guys ran into any other issues with Edgenuity as far as like technical support or things not working right? I'm trying to think of some examples. I think really videos not loading is the main one.
I've had a couple times where students have said that their lesson kind of got stuck where they couldn't move past a screen. And I've gone in to impersonate them and I see the issue. I usually end up resetting the whole thing, but I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes, that is fine. That would work. Now, it depends on how far they are in the lesson probably. Like, I guess if it's just the instructional video, yeah, go ahead and reset that because really, it's not going to hurt them to rewatch that stuff again. If it's like an assignment or a test or a quiz and they get stuck and like, because I know sometimes students are not gonna want to go back and retake those. That's a good one. That really.
I've never had it happen on an assignment or quiz. It's only been on the lessons where they click through their slides.
Okay, so it's just the instructional video part. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's fine. You can reset that. But if it's like with an assignment or a quiz, email me about those situations, because then I can kind of troubleshoot on my end and see what the best option is to do for that. Just because I know students aren't going to want to start all over with stuff a lot of the times. So we don't want them to miss, have to go back and redo work that they've already done. So just email me if anything like that happens, but hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, with the videos, that's kind of an easy thing to do. Just reset those, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, the chat with tech support. So what I was gonna say, like, if there's other technical issues that maybe I can't figure out, or I need to, or let's say you want to understand how something works in Edgenuity or you don't remember, you can always chat with Edgenuity. Just go to live chat, click on this, and then you can type your message in here. I've done this many, many times. This is what I do instead of call anymore, just because it's faster and quicker. So if there's any situation that maybe I can't solve or you want to try to resolve on your own, but have them help you a little bit, chat message is awesome. They're really, really good. I promise you. And if a student, yeah, like I said, you can always refer a student to the Edgenuity tech support line as well. And to this too, to this option, to the chat, or they can call that number. But yeah, anything technical, if it has to do with their computer, that is all Edgenuity. If its video is not loading, I can handle that. But if it's a computer, their specific computer, because if it's working on your end and you're seeing it on your end and it's fine, then that basically means that it's something with their computer. Like, for example, assignments not uploading. I know we've had issues with that before. Have you guys had issues with, like, assignments not uploading? I think that's mainly in, like, the science classes. Or, like, the lab reports won't load, or a PowerPoint won't load. That would be tech support, probably chat or a phone call with them. Or you can try to work it through with them and be like, send an attachment to my email, or put it in a Word document and send it to me on my email. So that's okay. That's, as long as you can work around issues and try to get that student, get the information to you, I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to go through Edgenuity every time. So if things aren't uploading properly, yeah, either email attachment, or if even your phone, if you are okay with that with pictures, it's up to you as the teacher how you want to handle those things, but you can work around those things if you know other options. Does that make sense to everybody? Because obviously Edgenuity is not going to, things aren't going to work smoothly every time. So we kind of have to find other ways to go around it. Okay. Communication with students, we talked about this already. Just really want to stress how important it is to make sure you're contacting those students. If students are not getting back to you, like, I understand OLC students, a lot of them are not going to get back to you. I understand that. And that's okay. You don't need to continue that conversation with them until they get back to you. I'd say 1 or 2 times, contact them. If they don't, then don't worry about that until they contact you, because that is a little different story and situation out there. Also with the dial students, same thing. But I think a lot of students will communicate with you. And we just want to make sure that it's within that 24 hours and we're not letting it sit there for a long period of time. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. I think, let's see, I'm gonna look here. I have other notes here. Okay, since we're still in Edgenuity, I wanna go reset and retake. I just want to make sure you guys understand the difference between the reset and the retake. So when I go in and reset a assignment for a student, that's going to push that student back to that assignment before they can move on where they're at. If you do a retake, the student is going to have to go in. If they know specifically, let's say, hey, can I get another retake in this assignment? And they tell you specifically, you can go ahead and just add a retake, but then they're going to have to make sure they go in specifically to that assignment to find that and then click on it and retake it. The reset is just going to push them back automatically and make them do that before they can do anything else. Another thing I want to say is change score. Anytime a student, there's going to be times, and I've had this come up, where a student feels like they did better on a quiz or a test than the score they received. Anytime a student emails you and says that, obviously you want to go in, take a look at that assignment or that quiz or test. And if you feel like, oh yeah, I think she got this one right and they counted it wrong. I mean, it's happened before. Or, anything like that, you can override the score. So if you go in to change score, you can always put a new score up here and hit submit. It's whatever is appropriate to you, and you feel is fair, that is okay. Okay, so anytime you feel like you think that they deserve a better score on an assignment or quiz or test, you can go in and change that.
Casey?
Yes.
This is Roxanne.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to explain that reset and retake. So if a student emails me and they want to retake a quiz, is it, do I just add a retake or I reset?
See, I know, and that can be kind of confusing. I normally reset just because, and that's maybe what you need to ask them. Like, do you want to do that test or that quiz now? Because that's the reset, it's going to push them back and have them do that before they can go on to any other assignment. So I normally reset, is what I normally do.
Okay, so does reset allow them to go back and maybe reread the material and then take it?
Yes.
Retake it?
Yes.
And
Yep.
That's probably what we want them to do.
Yes. So anytime, so let's say I'm on a quiz, and anytime that I reset a quiz, they can go back and watch the lecture or the instruction video anytime. Anytime. So yeah, they can definitely, it's not going to push them back to the lecture. They're going to have to purposely go in the lecture. So it's only going to push them back to this quiz. So they will have to, if you want them to rewatch the video again, then what I would suggest is reset the video too. So if I go up here to lecture, I can reset that. And then that's going to push them back here to the lecture, watch it, and then they can take the quiz. So that's probably what I would do.
So if I'm going to reset, go to the lecture, that's not going to force them to go through the online content, the interactive, the journal? Okay.
Nope. You actually have to click on the actual assignment to reset that specific assignment. It's not, if I just go to the lecture, reset it, it's not going to make them do any of these.
Okay. Because I think that's what I want them to do, because just allowing them to retake the quiz, they just guess a couple more answers correctly.
I agree. And then, because once they watch the video, and let's say you reset and push them back to that, they can fast forward and rewind, and they can fast forward to maybe past the parts that they already know. The second time they watch it. The first time they cannot fast forward through the videos, but the second time they watch it, they can fast forward. But it's still going to push them back there.
Okay.
You see what? Yep. I think that's a good idea. Good question.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so those are really the three main ones here in the gradebook that you will use probably most likely. The bypass, I know we've said this before, if there's something in the course content you feel like they don't need to do, or let's say they're having trouble with loading or it working, you can always bypass it, and then you can go back to that and unbypass it once it gets figured out. So that's always an option too. If something's not working and they want to keep working in their course. All right, let's see. I got that. Set that one. Okay. All right. Another thing too, with lab reports, I know none of our science teachers, I don't think, are on here. But anyway, lab reports, we want to make sure that we're going into those lab reports. And I know sometimes with like essays too, sometimes the computer will make it to where it's 100%. Like it automatically grades it 100% because the teacher hasn't went in and graded it yet. Make sure you're really looking at those essays and those labs. And if a student, like for example, on the OLC side, they're not submitting a lab report, they need to receive a 0. So just make sure you're really going in and looking at those essays and those labs to make sure that they're receiving the score that they should get. But normally, you should have an alert. Normally, an alert will show up if there is anything that needs grading for that. But sometimes with those labs, I've noticed that it'll say 100% if they didn't submit anything. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Go back to our here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to B here. I know we've had some questions. A few teachers have emailed me about this. I just want to make it clear to everyone. When you are submitting vouchers, if a student does some work in a course, some work, and when I say some, I mean like 0.1%. Even if they only did 0.1%, you still will get paid for that student. Unless they drop within that 2-week drop period. So if a student drops within that 2 weeks, you won't get paid. But if it's after the 2 weeks, then you will get paid. If they've done 0.1%, you still get paid. So I just want to make sure you guys are all clear with that part of it. The core board meetings, they are the first Thursday after the first full week. So you should receive payments by the 10th of the month. So if you do get those vouchers in to me on the 25th or anytime earlier in that month, I get those submitted over right away, and then you should get paid the following month by the 10th of the month. That's kind of how, give or take a few days here and there. So just want to make sure you understand when those checks should be coming to you. Our website, I know we've said this before, but I just want to show you guys again that this is our website, dialsd.net. This is where all of our, kind of have our courses, a list of our courses that we offer. We have our calendar and policies, a few testimonials from parents and teachers and students taking our classes. So just some good information about Dial Virtual School. If you ever have anybody asking any questions about it, you can send them there. The PRF form, that's the personal record form. That's where I go in and put your guys' FTE in and what courses you teach with what districts, and that is due October 15th, so we'll get that submitted to the state. Our next staff meeting dates, here is the dates for those. The November, January, and March are going to be all webcasts again. I will record those and send those and upload those and send the link out to you guys so you can watch them when you're on your own time. And then the May one will be a live meeting again like we're doing right now. Few other things. With the OLC students, just another reminder, in order for an OLC student to pass, they need to have a 60%. It's not 70%, it's 60%. So if you see a student that has a 50, a 55, you don't send me that percentage rate. I don't want that. I want you to make sure you're working with that student and trying to get him up to that 60%. If it comes to within their 12-month time frame, then we need to kind of reassess that. But keep working with that student and try to get that student up to that 60%.
Hey, Casey, this is Roxanne again. I'm on D, the virtual school. All of our classes are aligned to the current South Dakota standards, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Is there, and I'm just working with some schools that are going through accreditation. Is there a statement on there that states that
Like on where? On like,
on your website, like in the policy or something that I could go in and look at?
well, that's a good question. I don't know if we do. I'll have to look and see about that too, Roxanne. I think maybe somewhere. That's a good question.
Yeah, because that would be.
Yeah, I
I've
should
had it, yeah. Anyway,
have that on there somewhere. I'll look for that and see.
that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Student policies, facilitator.
Yeah. And these policies here are mainly, these are really, a lot of these are for the Blackboard courses. So maybe what we need to do, and I can talk with Karen about it, maybe somewhere here or somewhere we could put, you know, a line to the South Dakota content standards or something.
Yeah, just a statement from you guys, the virtual school, that each and every class that's offered
Yep.
is aligned.
Yep. That's a good point. I'll talk with Karen about that tomorrow.
All right.
Perfect. Okay. I'm not sure where I was at with that. Oh, yeah, I have the list. Okay, I'm just looking over a few things here that I wrote down. Oh, okay. Northwestern students. If you guys have any Northwestern students, I just wanted to let you know, and the principal called me, I think it was maybe last week or so, and just wanted me to let you guys know that with those Northwestern students, they have a cyber school. Their cyber school's called I Succeed. So just like Edgenuity, or not Edgenuity, Weston Springs, they have Weston Springs Cyber School. So Northwestern started one. They started it last year, and they are continuing with it this year, and they have more students in it this year. And so he just wanted to let me know that their students basically are trying to focus on one course at a time. So some of them are in 3, some of them are in 5. And so just have maybe a little bit more patience with them as far as them being assigned to any of you. They might be working a little bit slower. So they're just kind of focusing on one course and then gonna kind of try to focus on another once they're done with one. So they're not gonna, you know, log in to each course at one time. So just wanted to make sure you understood that or relayed that message. The MyPath courses, I kind of wanted to go over the MyPath courses with you guys just briefly. I know Katie has some, and Candy, you guys do a lot with the MyPath courses. The MyPath courses are basically only really for OLC. We do put some of the DIAL students in those. So what they are, it's a corrective reading and a corrective math. So it's just reading and math. And so if a student struggles in reading and math, they can take this course. They'll take a placement exam first, and then based upon that placement exam, they get put into an individualized learning path course based on how well they did on that exam. And so a lot of the OLC students are enrolled in those courses. So I just wanted to let you know that that is one of our courses. It is listed on SCDS. And so those are what we call the MyPath courses. So they are a little bit different setup than our original ones. But yeah, I don't know if I kind of relayed that information to all of you guys before, but I just wanted you guys to kind of know that. But yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Okay, I think that's all I have. You guys have any questions on anything? I'm sure I'll probably remember some more things that I wanted to say, but that's for another time. Okay, if nothing, I will see you guys later. Have a good night.